You're not here by accident. This video was made specifically for you and the sciatic pain you've been living with. Hi, I'm Dr. Ethan Keller, board-certified pain specialist and founder of the National Sciatica Research Foundation. Over the last 20 years, my team and I have dedicated our lives to helping Americans over 50 eliminate the sharp, burning, and tingling pain of sciatica without risky surgery, addictive medications, or time-wasting therapies that never address the real problem. Now, maybe you've been trying to tough it out, hoping the pain will just fade on its own. Maybe you've been told to stretch through the discomfort, only to end up hurting even more. Maybe you even have strapped on one of those buzzing nerve belts that feels more like a torture than treatment. Maybe your doctor handed you a prescription and it only masked the pain for a few hours, leaving you groggy, irritable, and frustrated. Or maybe you've tried everything: painkillers, chiropractors, acupuncture, injections, physical therapy. And the relief, if you ever got any, was temporary at best. And now, they're telling you surgery is the next step, even if that's the one thing you've been told to desperately avoid. That sounds like your situation. You're not alone. And more importantly, it's not your fault. Because it turns out that the real root cause of most sciatic nerve pain has nothing to do with your spine, your age, or your muscles. It has to do with something more overlooked and far more dangerous. Breakthrough research now shows that for millions of people, sciatica stems from something called oxidative nerve corrosion, a destructive process that breaks down the protective layers around your sciatic nerve from the inside out. Think of your sciatic nerve as a thick copper wire. When it's healthy, signals travel smoothly and painlessly. But over time, especially if your body lacks specific nerve-supporting nutrients, that wire begins to corrode. It's like rust eating away at an old power line. The protective insulation starts to crack. Signals get distorted, and suddenly, sparks start flying, triggering jolting, stabbing sensations that you feel every time you try to sit, stand, or sleep. Once that process begins, your body tries to fight back. It sends in a compound we now call the nerve strangle protein, a toxic inflammatory agent that was meant to protect your nerves, but it ends up attacking them instead. This protein chokes off oxygen, swells the nerve, and creates what we call a short circuit. A misfire in your nervous system that sends searing pain down your lower back, through your hips, and all the way down to your feet. That's why you feel those stabbing jolts. That's why the burning won't stop. And that's why your doctor's treatments never worked, because they were focused on the symptoms and not the cause. The worst part? If this inflammation continues unchecked, it can sever your nerve signals completely, causing permanent nerve damage, loss of mobility, and in severe cases, even leading to amputation. But here's the good news. You can stop this and even reverse it if you act fast. That's exactly why we made this video, because what I'm about to show you can help calm your inflamed sciatic nerve, flush out the dangerous protein that's suffocating it, and repair the damage done by oxidative nerve corrosion, all in under 5 seconds a day. We call it the 5-second neural reboot. And when done correctly, it has the power to soothe irritated nerves, restore normal signaling, and eliminate the firestorm of inflammation that's been torturing your lower body. I know how unbelievable this might sound. I was skeptical too, until I saw it work again and again for real people in real pain. And the best part? This 5-second method doesn't require painful stretches, needles, risky procedures, or soul-numbing prescriptions. So take a breath, relax, because just by watching this video, you've already taken your first step toward healing, not just managing your sciatic pain. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact nutrient combination behind this breakthrough, already being used by thousands of people across the country. You'll discover how to eliminate the underlying cause of your pain, whether it started 10 days ago or 10 years ago. And most importantly, you'll understand how to finally enjoy your golden years pain-free, to sit comfortably, to walk with confidence, to sleep through the night without throbbing, shooting pain down your leg, to do yard work, play with your grandkids, go to dinner, and actually enjoy it. But all of that depends on one thing: you sticking with me for the next 7 minutes. So do me a favor, shut the door, silence your phone, turn off the TV, because I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to take back the one thing sciatic pain stole from you. And when you can control that, you can gain something even greater: freedom. The freedom to live on your own terms again. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. But first, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Dr. Ethan Keller. I'm a board-certified pain specialist with a doctorate in neuroinflammatory science from the University of Michigan Medical School. Over the past 2 decades, I've worked with some of the top researchers in the country, from Stanford to the Mayo Clinic, on one mission: to uncover the real cause of pain behind chronic nerve pain and find a solution that works where conventional medicine fails. In that time, I've sat across from thousands of patients, people just like you, who've told me the same heartbreaking thing. I've tried everything and nothing works. I've heard it from retired teachers, former athletes, factory workers, grandparents, and even other doctors. And they've all had one thing in common. They were tired of chasing treatments that offered no real relief. Tired of spending their hard-earned savings on prescriptions, appointments, and specialists, only to be told you'll have to live with it. But the truth is, I didn't get into this field just for the science. For me, it's personal. Because long before I founded the National Sciatica Research Foundation, I watched someone I love lose everything to this condition. My father, Alan Keller, was the strongest man I ever knew. A high school coach, a family man, always smiling, always moving. He was the kind of guy who fixed his own roof, grilled every weekend, and never missed his birthday. But in his early 50s, he started complaining of pain in his hip. And then came the numbness, the stiffness, the burning. At first he joked it off. "I'm just getting old," he'd say. But the pain got worse. More appointments, more scans, more pills. No one ever gave us a straight answer. Eventually he was diagnosed with severe sciatic nerve compression. They tried injections, stretching, physical therapy. Nothing worked. Then one day, they gave us the news. The nerve damage had progressed too far. If the inflammation spread further, it could trigger clotting or even organ failure. The doctor looked at us and said,
"The safest option is amputation."
I was speechless. We all were. How had it come to this? Dad fell into a deep depression. The man who once raced around the backyard couldn't even put on his shoes anymore. And the worst part, he told me one night with tears in his eyes, "I feel like a burden." The house felt quieter after that. Mom tried to stay strong, but I caught her crying in the kitchen more than once. My younger sister started sleeping with the lights on, and I started spending more time at the library, poring through medical textbooks and journals, trying to understand what had gone wrong. We missed his presence at Sunday cookouts. Grandkids stopped asking to be picked up. His recliner became a shrine, the one chair that nobody wanted to sit in. Holidays lost their shine. Laughter felt forced. The joy that once filled our home was replaced by worry and quiet mourning. It just wasn't his leg that was taken. It was his spark. The man who had taught me to ride a bike, who had never missed a school play, who had told the same 5 jokes every Christmas, like they were new each year. He disappeared inside himself. And yet, even in his pain, he kept asking us how we were doing. That's who he was. I remember sitting with him one night, holding his hand, watching his chest rise and fall in the hospital bed we'd set up in the living room. He turned to me and said,
"Promise me you'll fix this. Not for me, for them."
That promise became my mission. So I made a promise. I told my dad I would devote my life to finding a real answer. That moment broke me, because no one should ever feel like that. No one should have to choose between living in pain or losing a part of themselves. So I made a promise. I told my dad I would devote my life to finding a real answer. I left my hospital job. I went back to research, and I started working with a group of specialists to study the one part nobody was talking about, the nerve itself. Not the spine, not the muscles, not just the symptoms, but the actual condition of the nerve, and why so many sciatic nerves were short-circuiting, like corroded wires. That's when everything changed. What we would go on to discover would shape the foundation of the National Sciatica Research Foundation, and ultimately sparked a completely new approach to healing sciatica from the inside out. But I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. What matters now is this. If you've been told there's no solution, if you feel like your body is betraying you, if you're scared of where this pain could lead, please know I've been there, I've lived it, and you are not alone. Because what happened to my dad is exactly why this time will be different. I don't want you or anyone you love to go through the same thing. And with what I'm about to reveal to you, you won't have to. Fast forward to today. Not only have I become one of the most consulted nerve health specialists in the country, but I've also founded the National Sciatica Research Foundation, where I've recruited some of the top neurologists, pain researchers, and metabolic scientists in the world from institutions like Harvard, Stanford, Duke, and the Karolinska Institute. Together, we've spent the last several years working to decode the real root chronic sciatic pain. And just recently, our work led to a breakthrough discovery, the very one I'm going to share with you today. This discovery is already being used by thousands of Americans who were fortunate enough to watch this presentation in time, and it has completely changed their lives. But before I show you how it works, we need to talk about something important, because the patients we see at the foundation have one thing in common. They've tried everything. They've followed their doctor's advice. They've taken the meds, done the stretches, spent thousands on specialists, and yet nothing worked. So we had to ask the tough question, why? Why do conventional treatments fail so many people? As part of a global research initiative we've led across 11 countries, we've uncovered a disturbing truth. Most traditional sciatica treatments were never meant to heal. They were built to manage, to maintain, to keep patients dependent, instead of delivering real, long-term results. That's not an opinion. That's a fact backed by decades of data, industry patterns, and cold, hard numbers. The global sciatica treatment industry is now worth over $14 billion. That's $14 billion that pharmaceutical companies, device makers, and insurance networks would lose if people actually got better. And the more we dug into it, the more disturbing it became. Consider this: most doctors' first response to sciatica is to write a prescription, painkillers, muscle relaxers, even off-label antidepressants. But what those prescriptions really do is mask the pain, not fix it. And in many cases, they make things worse. We reviewed over 40 clinical trials involving these standard medications. Time after time, the evidence was clear. They worked no better than a sugar pill. And worse, several studies published by the American Chemical Society found that long-term use of these drugs actually increased systemic inflammation, the exact process driving the sciatic pain in the first place. It's a vicious cycle. The more pain you feel, the more pills you're prescribed. The more pills you take, the worse the inflammation becomes. The worse the inflammation gets, the more your nerves misfire. And suddenly, you're not just managing pain, you're trapped in it. And what do doctors do? They double down. More prescriptions, more therapies, eventually surgery. Now look, I'm not anti-doctor. Some of my closest friends are practicing physicians, but I've also seen how many of them are misled. They're taught that bulging disc, spinal degeneration, and vertebral narrowing are primary causes of sciatica. They're trained to read MRIs, spot abnormalities, and prescribe accordingly. But here's what most people don't realize. Research from the International Spine Journal found that nearly 90% of people over the age of 50 have disc degeneration, yet many experience no pain at all. Meanwhile, millions of Americans suffer from excruciating sciatica, despite having scans that show nothing unusual. So what gives? The answer lies in what most doctors don't examine: the nerve itself. You see, when we stop looking at the spine and start studying the condition of the nerve, a different picture emerges. One where the root cause isn't just a bulge or a pinch, but a biochemical assault on the nerve tissue itself. Our research identified a condition known as oxidative nerve corrosion. It's not something you'll often hear about from your doctor, but oxidative nerve corrosion is what happens when your body, over time, can no longer shield your nerves from internal biochemical stress. The result? Your nerves begin to decay much like rust, slowly eating the protective coating on a copper wire. Only in this case, it's your sciatic nerve, the largest nerve in your body. And instead of power outages, you get power surges, electrical shocks, burning, crawling sensations down your leg. Pins and needles so severe they feel like they're stabbing you from the inside out. As the protective insulation around your nerve, known as the myelin sheath, begins to deteriorate, signal transmission becomes erratic. Your body's natural defenses, including immune response, compound what we now know as neurocytin A, attempt to counteract the damage. But here's the twist. Neurocytin A backfires. Instead of helping, it inflames the nerve from within. Imagine swelling inside a drinking straw. The more it swells, the harder it is for anything, including oxygen and nutrients, to pass through. That's when the second phase begins. Your muscles, particularly those in your lower back, hips, and glutes, begin to tighten in response. It's your body's misguided attempt to protect the area. But this muscle constriction acts like a vice grip, squeezing the already irritated nerve and further restricting blood flow. If this weren't enough, your body then adds a third layer of dysfunction. Fibrotic tissue, scar tissue, starts to form. Think of it like your body wrapping your sciatic nerve in duct tape. Only instead of helping, it locks the nerve in place, preventing healing and amplifying pain during any sort of movement. This is sciatica generation cycle in full swing. And it's why most people get worse, not better, unless they attempt to interrupt this process at every stage. Understanding this is what led to our breakthrough, and what I'll show you next is how we finally found a way to stop it. Think of it like this. Your sciatic nerve is like a long, insulated wire. When it's healthy, signals move smoothly. But when exposed to internal oxidative stress caused by deficiencies in nerve protective nutrients, that insulation starts to break down. Like rust eating through copper, the more the corrosion builds, the more erratic your nerve signals become. That's when the body releases a chemical we call the nerve strangle protein, an inflammatory compound that swells, compresses, and inflames the nerve fibers until they become hypersensitive. Suddenly, everyday activities like sitting, standing, walking, or even bending over cause jolts of pain that feel like you're being shocked with a live wire. And this inflammation doesn't stay local. It travels from the base of your spine through your hips, down your legs, and even in some cases, to your arms and feet. That's why traditional methods fail, because they're trying to fix the hardwire, the spine, without addressing the wiring, the sciatic nerve itself. Now here's the encouraging part. Once you understand this, once you know the real root cause, there will be a shift in thinking. And that shift in thinking is what sparked a breakthrough that we never expected. We were pouring through case reports, post-mortem analyses, and forgotten studies when we stumbled upon something that would change everything. A small, overlooked trial out of the University of Barcelona. In it, researchers were studying an unusual inflammatory pathway in patients with chronic nerve pain. And what they found was groundbreaking. They had identified a tiny yet extremely aggressive compound produced in the body under oxidative stress. This compound, which we now call neurocytin A, was the missing link we'd been looking for. You see, neurocytin A acts like a spark plug for inflammation. Once released, it triggers a neuroinflammatory surge, a violent chain reaction that bruises and swells the sciatic nerve from the inside out. It's this internal pressure, this swelling, that causes your nerve to misfire, sends shocks down your leg, and makes it feel like it's on fire. And the worst part? Standard anti-inflammatories don't even touch it. They may temporarily reduce swelling around the nerve, but they don't calm the root inflammation inside the nerve fiber itself. That's why people keep getting worse, even when they're doing everything right. And neurocytin A is just the beginning. We soon realized that this wasn't a one-step issue. It was a three-phase nerve assault that we now call sciatica degeneration cycle, or SDC. Phase 1, neural inflammation, where oxidative stress and neurocytin A break down the sciatic nerve's insulation, leading to shocks, zaps, and numbness. Phase 2, muscular constriction, when the surrounding muscles go into a defensive spasm, squeezing the sciatic nerve like a python and cutting off oxygen-rich blood flow. Phase 3, fibrotic encapsulation, where your body tries to protect the damaged nerve by wrapping it in scar tissue, which locks it in place and makes even basic movement unbearable. The SDC was showing up in scan after scan, and the more we studied it, the more we realized, until you stop all three phases, the pain doesn't go away. In fact, it compounds. The inflammation worsens, and the muscles get even more tense. It accelerates scar tissue buildup, and then the scar tissue cuts off blood flow, starving the nerve until it begins to wither. That's when the worst symptoms begin. complete loss of feeling, random shooting pain, a burning sensation that feels like your skin is sizzling from the inside. In the most severe cases, amputation. We knew we had to act fast, so we ran more studies, scanned more patients, reviewed over 200 peer-reviewed articles. And after nearly 2 years of non-stop testing, trial, and refinement, we found it. A rare compound used in Eastern European folk medicine for centuries, one that modern science had overlooked. Why? Because it had never been studied in relation to nerve health until now. When we isolated and concentrated this compound in the lab, something incredible happened. It attached directly to the inflamed nerve tissue and neutralized neurocytin A. Not just slowed it down, not just minimized symptoms, but it stopped it in its tracks. This compound became the foundation of what we now call the nerve release protocol. We paired it with other key nutrients, each selected for their ability to relax muscle constriction, improve microcirculation, dissolve scar tissue surrounding the sciatic nerve, and we created the first all-in-one formula that attacks all 3 phases of SDC. What happened next was something we couldn't even have predicted. People weren't just seeing pain reduction, they were regaining freedom. Walking unassisted for the first time in years, sleeping through the night without electric jolts, playing with their grandchildren again. One man told us, "I thought I'd be in a wheelchair by now. Instead, I'm back on the golf course." That's when we knew this wasn't just a discovery, this was a revolution in sciatic care. So if you've been told your spine was the problem, given medication that only dulls the pain, trying to stretch your way out of agony, but deep down, you know, something else is going on, you're right. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this nerve release protocol works and how it targets all 3 phases of sciatic degeneration, and how it only takes 5 seconds a day to begin changing everything. Because when you stop the inflammation, release the nerve, and dissolve the scar tissue, you don't just get relief, you get your life back. Now let me show you the science behind why this protocol is working when everything else has failed. One landmark study published on a government-verified medical research platform followed 612 participants suffering from moderate to severe sciatic nerve pain. Participants were split into 3 groups. Group 1 received a placebo. Group 2 received a 400 milligram dose of our primary nerve support compound. Group 3 received an 800 milligram dose. And that's what we kept hearing in real-world stories, like David C., a 68-year-old retired firefighter.
After 2 decades of dragging my leg around, trying every cream, pill, and injection out there, this was the first thing that let me walk without wincing. It didn't mask the pain, it removed it.
Or Janine M., who battled daily surges of pain down her leg.
I used to dread getting out of bed. That first step felt like stepping on a landmine. Now, I'm walking my dog again. I'm gardening. I'm me again.
Then there's Martin L., a former construction worker whose sciatica had reached the point of near total disability. Sleep was broken, energy was drained, and surgery, or worse, felt inevitable.
I thought I'd just have to live like this. But the first night I took it, I slept 7 hours straight. I hadn't done that in a decade.
We even heard from Anita, a 72-year-old grandmother in Arizona.
My grandkids used to say Grandma can't sit on the floor, but last weekend I sat and played for over an hour. Well, they kept asking me what changed, and I told them it's this formula.
These stories aren't rare. They're coming in every single day from teachers, truck drivers, veterans, nurses, retirees, and parents who've all said the same thing. This is the first thing that worked. And the best part? It's not just for people in agony. We've had early-stage sciatica patients use this to stop their pain from progressing. We've had former surgery candidates avoid the OR entirely. We've had active adults use it proactively to keep inflammation at bay and stay mobile. So whether you've been in pain for 10 days or 10 years, whether you've tried dozens of treatments, or this is your first, whether you're simply managing the pain or desperate to get your life back, this can work for you. And I want you to experience the amazing results all for yourself. After years of clinical validation, peer-reviewed research, and third-party testing, we're incredibly proud to share the same doctor-formulated solution that has now helped over 43,000 Americans find real relief from sciatic nerve pain. We call it Sciaticyl. Now, what makes Sciaticyl truly different and why it continues to work even when other treatments fail comes down to the ingredients inside. You see, Sciaticyl isn't just built to fight nerve pain temporarily. It's designed to neutralize all three phases of sciatica degeneration cycle: inflammation, constriction, and scar tissue buildup at the root level. Let's break down what's inside and how it works. It all starts with our primary compound, the neurocytin A neutralizer. This is the core ingredient responsible for calming the inflammatory nerve storm triggered in phase 1. It not only blocks the activity of this inflammation cascade, it helps restore the damaged myelin sheath, your nerve's natural insulator. But we didn't stop there. To stop phase 2, the muscular chokehold, we added a powerful blend of herbal and mineral laxants. Number 1, magnesium oxide. Magnesium helps relax muscle fibers that often clamp down on the sciatic nerve. It eases tension throughout your back, hips, glutes, and legs, helping release the pressure that keeps your nerve locked in pain. Clinical research has shown magnesium deficiency plays a major role in nerve hyperexcitability. Number 2, ginger root. Ginger is more than a digestive aid, it's a natural anti-inflammatory powerhouse. It targets muscle soreness and stiffness and helps reduce systemic inflammation. Ginger has also been shown to increase blood circulation, which is essential for oxygenating the sciatic nerve. Number 3, blueberry extract. Blueberry extract supports microcirculation and fights oxidative stress. Think of it as a shield for your nerves, protecting against further breakdown while delivering key nutrients to aid in healing. For phase 3, dissolving fibrotic scar tissue and restoring signal clarity, we turn to ingredients specifically chosen for their ability to break down fibrous buildup, promote circulation, and restore flexibility to the nerve sheath. Number 4, N-acetyl L-carnitine. More than just an amino acid, L-carnitine supports mitochondrial energy production in nerve cells and plays a vital role in rebuilding damaged nerve pathways. It's known to reduce discomfort associated with neuropathy and is essential in promoting the repair and restoration of the sciatic nerve tissue. Number 5, alpha-lipoic acid. ALA is a powerful antioxidant that works in both water and fat-soluble environments, allowing it to protect and regenerate nerve tissue throughout the body. It has been clinically shown to reduce nerve-related pain, improve blood flow to all the nerves, and help restore function. Number 6, Bacopa monnieri extract. Traditionally used in Ayurvedic medicine, Bacopa supports cognitive clarity, nerve function, and stress resilience. But recent studies have shown it also reduces inflammation in neural tissue and can accelerate nerve repair, especially in areas affected by long-term tension and damage. Combined, these 3 ingredients complete the third and final phase of the Sciaticyl healing protocol, promoting long-term healing, neural clarity, and structural restoration of the sciatic nerve. Now, to enhance bioavailability, making sure these ingredients are actually absorbed and delivered where they're needed, we included a precision B-complex matrix. Number 8, thiamine B1, pyridoxine B6, and methylcobalamin B12. These aren't just energy vitamins, they're nerve vitamins. B1 supports nerve signal transmission. B6 balances excitatory and calming neurotransmitters. And methylated B12, the active form, helps rebuild the nerve sheath. We also included zinc oxide for immune support and inflammation control, silicon dioxide, a bioavailability enhancer that improves uptake, and the synergy of these 3 ingredients in these precise ratios is what makes Sciaticyl different. Each one is powerful on its own, but together they produce what we call the nerve healing cascade, a compound effect that not only soothes your pain, but also restores mobility, resilience, and the balance across your entire neural network. And here's the best part. You don't need injections. You don't need surgeries. You don't even need another prescription. All it takes is 2 capsules per day, taken with water. And within days, most people begin to notice the shifts. The stabbing pain softens, the burning dulls, the numbness fades, and the feeling of control starts to return. Because when your nerves are calm, your body works better. And when your body works better, you live better. This synergy allows for something we rarely see in chronic pain formulas, a compounding benefit. Day 1 offers noticeable relief. Day 3 builds on it, and by the end of week 2, many people report transformative change. And we have rigorously maintained purity standards in every batch.
Sciaticyl is manufactured in the United States in an FDA-registered facility that follows all of the GMP, Good Manufacturing Practice guidelines.
Every ingredient is tested for potency, purity, and bioavailability, meaning your body actually absorbs and utilizes each compound. Each capsule is bottled in a temperature-controlled condition, and it's sealed for maximum freshness. The raw ingredients are sourced from clean, traceable supply chains and verified by third-party laboratories. To ensure you are getting the exact formula printed on the label, nothing more and nothing less. There's something else that's critical here: consistency. Sciaticyl was formulated to be taken daily. Just 2 capsules in the morning with water. That's it. No injections, no complicated routines, no exhausting physical therapy appointments that cost thousands. Just a straightforward, proven solution that you can integrate seamlessly into your lifestyle. And because it just doesn't address one symptom, but the full sciatic nerve degeneration cycle, you don't need multiple products, patches, creams, or guesswork. Everything is built into one solution. Some customers have even called it their sciatic safety net, the one thing they can rely on each morning to feel stable, secure, and ready to take on the day. And for those wondering whether a natural supplement can truly match the results of pharmaceuticals, the answer is in the results. Not just the clinical studies, but the real-world stories. That's what Sciaticyl was built to do. I personally take every formula we have because for me, this mission started with my family. Every batch of Sciaticyl is made with the same care that I would have demanded if my father were still here to take it himself. Sciaticyl is the only supplement designed to address every stage of sciatic nerve degeneration, stopping the inflammation, calming the tension, and restoring the nerve's ability to function, not just temporarily, but permanently. And that's why users from all over the country have been writing in with stories of relief, restoration, and resilience. Take Gary M., a retired electrician in Ohio. He told us he hadn't been able to sleep in a bed for nearly 6 months. He was stuck in a recliner most nights, just trying to find a position where the pain would stop shooting down his leg. He wrote,
"After 2 weeks on Sciaticyl, I slept in my own bed, and I slept through the night. It was the first time I felt like myself again in years."
Then there's Diane L., a former runner whose daily walks have become impossible due to nerve pain in her glutes and calves. She said,
"I was skeptical, but I didn't want surgery. Now I'm walking 2 miles a day. No burning, no jolts, just motion."
And John K., who once thought he'd never lift his grandson again. He now says he's back in the yard work, hiking, and playing on the floor without fear of freezing up or collapsing in pain. These aren't just isolated cases. They're part of a growing community. Tens of thousands of people who have finally discovered a way to live without fear of pain. Sciaticyl doesn't just mask symptoms, it helps eliminate the source. And when your body starts to heal, something incredible happens. Your energy returns, your confidence comes back, and you feel hopeful again. All it takes is 2 capsules a day. No crazy stretching routines, no pain clinics, no awkward belts or machines. Just a simple, science-backed solution designed to finally help you take back your control of your own body and your life. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to get your own supply of Sciaticyl. But first, I need to say this. If you've come this far, if you've been living with this pain and searching for answers, this moment is no accident. You're here for a reason. And now that you know the truth, you are here just minutes away from the single most important decision you can make for your own health. So now let's talk about how to get started. But first, understand this. This isn't about just getting by. This is about getting better. Because when you finally remove the one thing that's been holding you back, the pain, you unlock a new level of life that most people your age are told is out of reach. With Sciaticyl, you'll be able to do more than just sit comfortably. You'll be able to travel again, garden again, Walk the boardwalk, go dancing, pick up your hobbies, spend time with your grandkids without flinching or needing to lie down every 20 minutes. You'll feel younger, stronger, and more in control, because that's what happens when the pain no longer runs your life. Imagine this: waking up and your first thought isn't just, how bad will the pain be today? Instead, it's, what do I want to do today? With that kind of shift, that kind of freedom, that's why we built this formula. And the best part is, we've made it easier than ever to start. No doctor's visits, no prescription, no copays, no standing in line at the pharmacy, just 2 capsules a day. And within days, for most people, that dull burn begins to fade. That stab in your low back starts to soften, and that zapping sensation down your leg starts to disappear. And within weeks, if not just pain relief, it's just transformation. And that's what makes Sciaticyl so powerful, and why so many people have already made the switch. So if you're tired of treating symptoms, if you're ready to stop managing and start healing, and if you've been waiting for something real, something lasting, something proven to work without side effects, then let's talk about what this life-changing solution will actually cost. But first, I want to be clear. The price is not what matters here. What matters is what you're about to gain. Because for many people, this formula doesn't just save them from pain. It saves them from surgery, from another round of injections, from more sleepless nights and missed moments with people they love. Just think about what sciatic pain has already cost you. Every copay, every prescription, every doctor's visit, every bottle of ibuprofen, every product that didn't work. Not to mention the cost of time, missed outings, interrupted sleep, the anxiety that comes from wondering when the next jolt of pain will strike. According to Forbes, the average American spends anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 per year on failed pain treatments for sciatica. Insurance premiums, medications, and devices. That all adds up and fast. Over 10 years, that's $50,000 to $80,000 just to manage the pain. Now imagine how much money, time, and energy you could save if you could finally end the pain. And that's not just an abstract number. That's a cruise around the Caribbean, a bathroom remodel, a semester of college for your grandchild, a year's worth of groceries, all spent chasing something that never really worked. Think about it. The braces, the orthotics, the ergonomic cushions, the creams, the ointments, the overpriced sessions with specialists who barely listened before reaching for the prescription pad. Each one added to that bill. And yet here we are, offering a solution that doesn't require an operating room, a waiting list, or a painful rehab schedule. Just a tiny capsule, 2 seconds, twice a day. A drop in the bucket compared to what you've already spent, and what you'll continue to spend if you don't fix the real problem. Sciaticyl isn't just affordable, it's a fraction of the cost of failure, a fraction of the cost of waiting too long. And if that kind of transformation is available to you right now, backed up by real science, real stories, and a real guarantee, why not wait another day? That's what Sciaticyl is here to do. And yet, a single bottle of Sciaticyl won't cost you anywhere near that. In fact, it won't even cost you what you've already paid for physical therapy session, or one specialist visit, or a month's supply of the most name brand medication. Because when you're ordering today, you'll get a 30-day supply of Sciaticyl for just $69. That's less than a tank of gas, less than a dinner for 2, and a fraction of what you've probably spent already trying to get better. And to make sure you get the best possible results, the kind that last, we've created 2 additional options that provide deep savings and long-term support. Option 1, try Sciaticyl for 30 days, just 1 bottle for $69. Option 2, order our 3-bottle bundle and get each bottle for just $59. That's $177 total, saving you $30 instantly. Option 3, get the 6-bottle bundle for the lowest possible price, just $49 per bottle, or $294 total. That's a savings of $120 and enough Sciaticyl to support your healing journey for a full 6 months. Why 6 months? Because the longer you nourish and support your sciatic nerve, the stronger, healthier, and more resilient it becomes. Most users report their most profound transformation around the 90-day mark, and with continued improvements beyond that. So if you're serious about true recovery and never wanting to deal with this again, the 6-bottle option is the smartest and the most cost-effective choice. And no matter which option you choose, we'll ship it to your door completely free. Because this isn't about making a sale, it's about helping you get your life back. And that starts with one decision, right now. And we want you to feel completely confident in making that decision, which is why we are offering our risk-free 90-day guarantee. That means you can try Sciaticyl today, use it for a full 3 months, feel the changes yourself in your back, your hips, your legs, and your sleep. And if for any reason at all you're not thrilled with the results, just contact our customer support team and we will refund every single penny. No hassle, no questions asked, no fine print. And you don't even have to send back the bottles. That's how confident we are in the science and in your experience. Because when your nerves begin to calm, when the pain fades into the background, when you realize that you haven't even flinched getting out of a chair, that's when you'll understand why so many people say that this changed their lives. You'll go from surviving to thriving, from tolerating to moving freely. No more scheduling around flare-ups. No more saying no to things you love. No more wondering if today will be better or worse. Just relief, finally. But here's the catch. You don't have to choose it, because this formula can't help if you don't take the next step. So take a moment and scroll below this video. You'll see 3 order options. A 1-month supply for $69, a 3-month bundle for $59 per bottle, or our most popular 6-month bundle for just $49 a bottle. Whichever one you choose, know this. You're not just getting a supplement, you're getting a second chance. A chance to reclaim your independence, to restore your confidence, feel like you again. And with our 90-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee, there's absolutely no risk. And there's more. When you order the 3 or 6-month bundle today, you also receive 2 exclusive digital bonuses completely free. These are expertly written ebooks designed to help you accelerate your recovery, boost flexibility, and give you powerful lifestyle strategies for long-term sciatic relief. Each bonus is valued at $39, but we'll get them to you for free as a thank you for investing in your health. Sciatica in 60 seconds. Tiny habits that add up big. Discover 13 powerful micro habits that take less than a minute, but offer big-time relief for sciatica, all backed by smart science, real-life stories, and a dash of wit to keep you moving and smiling. The sneaky side of sciatica, daily triggers that you never knew were hurting you. Discover the everyday habits silently fueling your sciatic pain and how to spot and stop them with simple, expert-backed tweaks for fast and lasting relief. Whether you're looking for faster healing or better support throughout your day, these bonuses are designed to make your transformation even easier. But remember, they're only available when you choose the 3 or the 6-bottle bundle today. So don't miss out on this extra layer of support. Click below, claim your bundle, and we'll send you these free bonuses straight to your inbox instantly after checkout. And if you're still hesitating, let me ask you this. What would your 10-year younger self say if they saw you living in pain, settling for just getting by, watching life pass you on the sidelines? Would they tell you to wait, to think about it for another week? Or would they look at you in the eyes and say, you deserve better. You deserve your life back? Because the truth is, saying I'll think about it is exactly what most people end up stuck at. And you didn't watch this far just to end up stuck. A month from now, will you still be searching for relief, still stretching, gritting your teeth, hoping the pain goes away? Or will you be walking taller, sleeping deeper, waking up with energy and a plan for your day instead of anxiety about your body? You already know what doesn't work. Now it's time to try something that does. All that's standing between you and your next chapter is a click. So take it, because that one simple click could be the moment that changes everything. Just imagine what life will be like in a few short weeks from now. Waking up and stretching your legs without wincing. Getting through your day without bracing yourself every time you stand or sit. Going to bed and actually staying asleep. No more tossing, turning, or pillow wedging just to find a position that doesn't hurt. You'll be more present, more mobile, more you. And every time you walk through your front door without holding your hip, or play on the floor with your grandkids, or pack a suitcase for your trip you thought you'd never be able to take, you'll think back to this moment. Because it wasn't the pain that held you back, it was not having the right solution. Now you do. And the best part of all, it's completely risk-free. You can try Sciaticyl. You can feel it working. And if you don't, you get every penny back. No risk, no regrets. So don't overthink this. Don't wait. Don't let the pain steal another moment from your life. Let today be the day you say goodbye to sciatic pain and hello to your life again. But maybe you still have a few questions, and that's perfectly normal. So let's address some of the most common ones that we get. How long does it take to feel results? Most people begin noticing relief within the first few days of using Sciaticyl. However, most of the dramatic improvements typically occur between days 30 and 90, especially for those taking the 3 or 6 bottle bundles consistently. Is Sciaticyl safe to take with my medications? Sciaticyl is made with natural ingredients and is generally safe to use alongside other medications. That said, we always recommend speaking with your healthcare provider if you have any existing conditions or concerns. Do I have to take it forever? No, but many users choose to keep Sciaticyl as a part of their daily routine for maintenance and prevention. Once the inflammatory cycle is broken and healing begins, you can work with your doctor to decide what maintenance looks like for you. What happens if it doesn't work for me? That's exactly why we offer our 90-day risk-free guarantee. If you don't experience meaningful relief, just contact us and we'll refund every penny. No returns, no questions. What makes Sciaticyl different from everything else I've tried? Sciaticyl is the only formula specifically designed to neutralize all 3 phases of the sciatica degeneration cycle: inflammation, muscular compression, and scar tissue. It doesn't mask the symptoms, it targets the root. Is this available in stores? No. Sciaticyl is only available through our special offer to ensure freshness, authenticity, and to access the bonuses and guarantee. Still thinking about it? Remember, the only thing standing between you and a life free from sciatic pain is a choice, and you've made it this far. Don't stop now. Click below and choose your bundle and take your first step toward a stronger, pain-free tomorrow. I'll see you on the other side.